Good evening, everyone. My name is Sudhir, your host for today on Global Education and Training Institute platform. Today evening, we are going to speak about a very complex topic in today's time. And today we have our host as Mrs. Jaya Sheva. She is an advocate in Saket Court, New Delhi. She has working experience of more than 10 years in several corporates and other industries. She is a corporate turned lawyer, and now she is working for the kids and for the segment of the society. So today she is going to speak about NCPCR, what this commission is all about, how this time schools and students they should be aware about these things or these commission and what are their rights and what they can do with it. So over to Mrs. Jaya Shiva. Please join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this warm introduction, Mr. Sudhir Kumar.
You're welcome,
I'd
ma'am.
like to, first of all, sure. I would like to, first of all, thank you, Getty, Dr. Gandhi, and Mr. Sudhir Kumar for having me in this session. And it will be my pleasure to share my knowledge about NCPCR with the audience here. And I hope I would be able to satisfy their queries and their curiosity about what is this all about. Before beginning this session, I would like to start with the famous quote of the former president of South Africa, Mr. Nelson Mandela, that there can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. So the way you treat your children, it reveals the way you treat your future, the how your soul is going to be all about. So coming forward to the NCPCR, NCPCR is the National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights. So this commission was formed in 2006 after having 3 meetings with the United Nations regarding the children's right, along with the other major countries of the world. So the major functions of this NCPCR commission is, first of all, they have to look into about if there are any violations of children rights in our country. So they take help of the state governments and state commissions also. They just try to inquire, and they take help of the police personnel. And apart from that, they examine all factors that stop children from enjoying their rights. For an example, this riots, communal violence, domestic violence, HIV, AIDS, distressed children because of examination or because of any other pressure around, child trafficking, torture, and exploitation. And also, not to forget the sexual offenses that they may become victim to. Apart from that, they also look into the matters related to the children in the need of special care and protection. For an example, if a child does not have a family, or he is being maltreated by the parents, or maybe the children of the prisoners. So they recommend the remedial measures, and the state has to follow whatever the instructions have or guidelines that have been instructed by them. Apart from that, their major function is to spread the literacy about the child rights. You must have heard about the POCSO training that is going on in the schools these days. It has become the mandate for the this for the staff of the schools, from the top management to the 4th class grade. Okay, so
Yes.
and apart from that, they have to inquire into the complaints. For an example, for I go to the commission and I ask them that there is a trouble with my child or the child in my neighborhood. So what they have to do is that they will inquire into the complaints. They have to check the genuinity of this complaint, and second of all, they have to take decisions suo moto for certain actions. For an instance, they have to issue the summon for the accused. They have to start the proceedings, or any other emergency measure that they have to take care of. For an example, if the child is the victim of his own her or his own parent, so they have to make sure that immediately the child is transferred in the safe hands, so that he does not become the victim of this violation again. And they have to make sure about the necessary amenities that the child may require, like a safe house and the good environment, just to make sure that he comes out of this trauma that he has gone through. Moreover, they have to get the justice for the child also. So there are a lot of things that comes under this function. Then they have to promote and respect the serious consideration of the views of the children. Most of the time, if you would understand, like if most of the people understand, if somebody has gone through the trauma of sexual abuse or any other abuse, like mental harassment or physical torture, it could be anywhere, like they might be have been become victim of the domestic violence at their home. They must have been beaten by somebody at their home or maybe in the school. So they have to make sure that child is comfortable first. They have to respect their decision. They have to understand what is more important to them, so that they are able to cope up with their uh, uh, trauma. Then they have to promote the incorporation of the child rights, so that these rights are not violated again and again. Okay.
Right.
So and
So,
Mhm.
Mrs. Jaya, so my question would be here from you is, in the school setting, right? In a school, there are different kind of students and different with from the different family background. So, how a school can identify if anything is
I'm sorry, your voice is I'm not able to hear you.
sorry, my voice is clear.
Yes, now your voice went faded away.
Okay, okay.
So,
So I was asking, I'm
hmm,
repeating my question again, that in the school
okay.
setting, right, if a teacher or the school identifies some kind of a behavioral issue in a kid, so how they would
Hmm.
identify something bad is happening back at home, or even something is happening in the classroom itself, which is against the commission which you are talking about. How to identify, and then what should be the legal proceeding in order to handle such kind of issues?
Very good question. It is a very good question that will answer a lot of questions. Okay. First of all, if the child has some suspicious behavior, for an instance, he is very shy, he does not talk to anybody, or he seems to be in depression, or he is extremely aggressive, or he is like he's showing a very bad behavior, he is adamant, or he is showing a very objectionable behavior, so the teacher or the staff can call the child helpline, which is there 365 days a year, 24 by 7. Anybody can call that child helpline, and then they can ask for this like the
If
specialist
you
from
can
there.
share that, if you can share that child helpline number on this platform,
Yeah, it is 1098.
1098.
98. And even if you would Google about it, child helpline number, you would be able to find the child helpline number over there also, for in case if you forget about it. Okay. So you
True.
call 1098, and then they will send a representative from their department, and he would be able to like uh, take an interview of the child, and he will ask certain questions, so that they will be able to understand the child psychology, why he is behaving in a different manner. For an instance, if they come to know about the child being a victim of certain like sexual assault, or like any other psychological related problem, or mental harassment or physical torture, then they will contact this national commission, and they will take the needful steps. And they also have a suo moto powers. What they can do is they can take the convent, like they can issue the someone or compel somebody to be present in front of them. They have the equal powers as that of a civil court. And second
So,
thing I would like to tell you, I'm sorry
mhm.
to like
It's
interrupt
okay.
you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. The second thing is that if in case you come to know about a certain behavior of a child, or you come to know if child informs you, or you just know that child is going through certain conditions and you do not inform at that number, you will be legally liable and there might be some punishment imposed on you or some fine. So this is the best procedure and the facility that has been provided for the help of the children from the government to the people.
True. It's quite insightful, ma'am. So
Yeah.
you have mentioned that POXO also falls under this category. So what is
Yes.
the POXO exactly, and what kind of awareness should be there about this act?
See, what was happening lately was that the procedure, normal court procedures, the proceedings go for a lot of time period, and nobody can understand how long the court case is going to be. So what happens with the children who are affected, is that they go through double trauma. First of all, they have faced the violation. Second of all, they do not have the safety measures in place. Third thing is that because of the court procedure insensitive to the child's and the situation, uh, the incident keeps on revolving in his mind again and again. So it hits the child really badly. And sometimes because of this reason, parents or the guardian or the well-wisher of the child was avoiding this kind of procedure. So the government came with this act, which is called POXO, in which, that is, I hope you know about it, that it is a protection of child against sexual offenses. Okay. So what happens is they have a special code for children, just to make them feel comfortable, and they will not be compelled to describe the incident again and again. the you would be happy to know that the way the child can give his statement is that they can be at their home. The specialist will come to their house and like keep be at the place where they are comfortable. If child want, he or she can accompany the person whom she or he trusts the most. Then they can answer. There would be a body language that they have to take care of. There would be the environment. There should not be much distraction there. And the second thing is that there are, in case if they are called, like, the public prosecutor is also specialized, the court judge is also specialized, and there are other different directions that has been provided by National Commission of Protection of Child Rights for this POXCO Act, that is going to help children to get their justice very fairly, and in a very good environment. It will be easier for them to cope up with this problem. And the thing is that they will help, not only this, they will provide the experts who will help them recover from their trauma that they have gone through. Children will get the compensation for the treatment. The best part is that these suits have to be wrapped up within a time span of 1 year from the date they have been reported. So I think this is the best facility that this law can provide to the children of our country, and they will feel safe. And you know what? If there is a family member or the parents with whom the victim has a threat, then they can provide with a substitute for the children. They will be abide with the children. They will keep on tracking the children's situation, and they will provide them with the uh, this friendly environment before, I'm sorry, on the time of complaint, during this court case, and after, even after these proceedings end. They will be providing them the friendly environment so that they are able to cope up with their mishappening that they have gone through.
You have actually put across some very good points about these the act POXO Act, but
Mhm.
I don't see much kind of awareness about this act. So how one should be educated, means what should be the level of educating the people in the society? It is only for the school? Is it only for some individual, or to everyone, because we don't see much awareness campaign about this act in the society. So how essential it is, and how we can enhance more awareness about it.
See, this since because of the increase in the incidents and the suffering of the children, this law was incorporated. Okay, and as I just mentioned in the beginning of the session, these POXO Act, this has been mandatory for the first class of the first class management of the school till the fourth class workers. So the awareness, and moreover, if you would like check the books of the children, in the books of the children, at the end of this book also, in I'll give you an example. My child, she is only 5 years old, and on at the back of her book there is a child helpline and POXO. So for an instance, if somebody is not aware about it, if somebody is even curious about it, they can call the helpline and ask for the information about it. Second thing is that if the I think this the education about the POXO has also become a mandate for the schools. And there are a lot of cinematographers who are coming ahead and making the audience of their movies aware about their about the POXO. And I have a suggestion for them also, that they should, apart from making people aware of the problem that people are facing, they should also make sure that they should provide them with the information that can help them get over it and take the resolution from that. I'll give you an example, that there is a recent movie which is an animated short movie which is called Komal. Okay, in that they show that what a child goes through when he is sexually harassed, okay, or sexually abused, and how her children I'm sorry, her parents are taking care of the issue. There is a consultant in the school also who helps the children understand what are the suspicious behavior and what kind of behavior they should not accept, and how to deal with this kind of situation. So I think this media industry is also helping with I just to be at a lighter note, just to like divert your attention towards the media also. There are a lot of movies. I'll give you an example. um, there was a movie called Kahani 2, wherein this revolves around the child for whom this like her uncle was sexually abusing her, and she did not have a help, and teacher was trying to help her. So, and even school authorities denied. So in if today's date it happens, the school authorities could be facing a lot of punishment and fine. So I think that government has made a very good procedures, and I hope they should move forward and make many more such short movies and awareness programs for the citizen of India also, so that in case if in moving forward they come across certain situation or they try to help a child, they are able to do it in a better manner.
So the movie which you have mentioned, that Komal, this is a animated mini movie. So do you think that that would be feasible to run that movie in all every school in order to educate the kids about this?
I hope I hope very soon schools will get to see that movie, because that has been approved. It has got accolades, national and international, on the international level also, and I
Mhm.
know that they would be able to see, just to make people aware of the children's problems. You could
Problem.
recognize the movie Tare Zameen Par also. That was also shown free to the school children. That was about the children going through the psychological issue. So I know that very soon this movie will also be showed to the school children. So
Understandable. And as
mhm,
you have mentioned that even the small kids like yours as well, they have details
mhm,
about the sexual, that POXO Act and the children
mhm,
helpline number in the back of their
mhm,
books. So, so
mhm,
I just want to ask from you directly, that being a mother, being, if you are seeing such kind of approach in the books, that okay, they
mhm.
are trying to educate, they are trying to provide information about such, precautions and actions. So, but if you interact with your kid, do you find the same level of education in her mind as well? Do they get the same level of information from their teachers as the whatever they mentioned in the books?
Hmm. As of now, I don't see that since she is only 5 years old, she has not been provided such training in the school. So I try to coach her for certain behaviors that she should be beware of, and the actions she should take, she should avoid. And
But
I
but
try
you
to.
but she is 5 year old, but 5 year is a significant age number, right? So
Mhm.
do you suggest school to still provide training to even that small group age group students?
Okay. 5 years plus, I think they provide training. But the thing is that my daughter, she has just entered into class 1, and the lockdown happened. So I think
Hmm.
very soon she will be getting the training for the same.
Okay,
Because
fine.
I know that five
But
years
you recommend
children get this kind of training.
okay, but you recommend that in school every age group student should get this kind of awareness session, and like they conduct session on good
Yes.
touch, bad touch, and what you should act and
Yes.
how to inform and whom to inform about if anything happens with you, right? So this kind of thing should be happen in a
Yes. Yes.
regular basis.
Yes, this should. And as soon as the child is able to understand the kind of touch, he should be aware of all this information.
Okay, fine, excellent. One more question, ma'am, would like to ask from you. In this COVID situation, wherein everyone is locked up in their own houses, so, is
Hmm.
there any chance of rising of such scenarios back in home about offenses, and if something is happening of such fashion,
Hmm.
how to
Hmm.
address and whom to inform, and how to tackle such kind of issues?
Okay, very good question, Sudhirji. Um, First of all, I would like to inform you that the child helpline 1098, the issue can be raised by anyone, even the child himself. That means, in case if they are going through domestic violence, mental torture, or any kind of harassment, even if in the family, and nobody else is raising the voice against it, child himself or herself can call that number and take the shelter of National Commission. Okay. So they do not need to do much. They just have to call a number, and the specialist will contact them. Either they will get come to their house. And even in this time of crisis, if you would check the net, they will tell this. Even in the COVID pandemic, this child line is still there 24 by 7, 365 days a year. So you can call them anytime. Time is not an issue. You just have to pick up the phone and dial the number, and your
Okay.
issue will be addressed. And second
So
thing
I
is that
would like to
even in.
emphasize again that as you have mentioned that children helpline number, even in this pandemic situation, is working profoundly, and it is not stopped, right?
Yes,
It's working 24 into
yes,
7.
it is.
Wow,
Yes,
that's
yes.
wonderful
And
information you have provided to us.
they have recorded lakhs of, approximately lakhs of cases. I just checked on the net. They reached approximately lakhs of children even during this pandemic time. So I don't think that there is a bigger achievement than that.
No, it's not an achievement anyhow, but yes, if they are trying to handle this situation, if they are prepared in this situation, yes, it's a good initiative from the government, I believe.
This is an achievement in order to protect the rights of children, if we
Right.
can frame it in that manner.
Hmm.
So
True, ma'am.
that's how I meant it. Okay.
So, what more you would like to enlighten us with to our viewers and to the parents and the school authorities?
Okay. Your voice is gone again, Sudhir Kumar sir. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay,
See, I would like
I
to
was
talk about
okay. Were I clear that time? Sorry.
I would like to talk about right to education also, which is
Okay.
also covered under the umbrella of the National Commission of
Okay.
Protection of Child Rights.
That also
Okay.
comes under
So
NCPC.
right, yes, there are a lot of other things, other acts also that come under this commission. So
Hmm.
the right to education, if some most of the people must have heard about it, but they are not clear what it covers. Right to education is actually a part of our constitution, and it is covered under Article number 21A, which specifies that the children between 6 years to 14 years have a right to free and compulsory education.
Okay.
Okay, so they cover the children who are facing problems in terms of migrating from one place to another, and they get problem while shifting from one school to another school. They are facing problem in getting transferred from one school to another school. So the school authorities have to help the child in coping up with the studies as well as getting the admission, even if they are financially not able to do it. Okay, and second thing is, it is a duty of the guardian or the parent of the child to make sure that he gets the compulsory education between 6 years to 14 years of age. Second thing is that this right to education, they have to make sure that this all the schools get recognized, and the procedure for getting recognized is that they have to abide by the guidelines issued by them. Okay, and uh, for an instance, there should be only 30 there should be a proper teacher and pupil ratio in every school, and the teacher must be trained properly, and the staff should be trained for the child, like for dealing with the child. Okay, and there should be nothing that is violative of the child right, which has been mentioned in this commission. Third thing is that there should be a school management committee that has to be established in every school, wherein the two-third of the committee has to be the parents or guardians of the school children, and the 50% of the committee should be women. Okay, and there are a lot of other guidelines that are the part of that, and the NCPCR will keep on examining the safeguard the rights of the children. Okay, and they will also inquire into complaints if received by the school children. Okay, and there is a capitation fee that before the this act coming into place, there was a capitation fee which was a very high fee charged by the school um, from the children, because of which a lot of parents were facing problems. So the capitation fee was cancelled. They were not supposed to charge only necessary fees were supposed to be charged. 25% of the children occupancy of each class should be covered by the economically weaker section. 25% of the school revenue, 25% of the school revenue should go to the economically weaker section children of the school. So there are a lot of provision that has been made by this commission, and there has to be like we should mention that there is a lot of contribution in improving the school life of the children because of these guidelines.
Understandable. And these are some pretty good points which you have just made under this COVID situation. So at last, my last question would be from you would are like, for school authorities, what guidelines or what suggestion you would like to give in order to implement that NCPCR or POXO Act, and what guidelines you would like to parents in order to avoid such kind of situation, and how they would increase the rapport along with their kids, so that even in case they are facing any such kind of issues, they would come to their parents and talk about it.
Okay. Um, Sir, actually, what I suggest is that you have to handle a child with a lot of patience. You cannot treat him like an animal or a pet. You have to treat him like an individual. If you would treat him like an individual, you will have a friendly and healthy relationship with your child. And when you will have a healthy relationship with the child, he will not be afraid of opening his or her heart to you. Okay. And regarding the school authorities, what I suggest is that they also have to maintain a friendly relationship with the children. They have to make these studies interesting, make ample facilities for the children, so that they grow not only by learning, they grow in every phase of their life, be it the mental like the mental growth should be there, and apart from the physical education, there should be the other kind of education also given, which is beneficial for him in person. And for parents also, they can receive, since there is a good authority that has been given by the commission to the parents in the school committee also, as I just mentioned about the school management committee, wherein two-thirds of the guardians get the authority in this committee, and 50% of them should be women. So I hope you understand the kind of authority they have in their school, so they can suggest a little bit of changes or improvements that the school can implement to make the children's learning better and make them into a very fulfilled individual. And as Mahatma Gandhi rightly said, that by education, I mean all round drawing of the best in child and man in body, mind, and spirit. So it should help to child not only grow physically, mentally, spiritually, and as a person, he should grow and he can make wonders in the world also. And at last, the name of the family, school, and nation is going to be in limelight just because of that child.
Totally agree with you on this, ma'am. So
Yeah.
again, my question was from you is that for the school authorities, for the principal or the director who are the leaders of their school, how they would ensure that, if any case unfortunately happens in their premises, number one, what kind of action should be taken and how they can
Mm,
approach, or what should be
mhm.
their approach in such cases, and to prevent such kind of heinous acts, what kind of awareness session they should run in their school.
First of all, they should take the trained staff. Okay. First, I will talk about the prevention. Then
Hmm.
I will talk about the cure. Okay.
Sure.
First, they should take the trained staff that has the knowledge in the child psychology, that understands the this environmental needs of the children, and who can understand if the child is stressed or in a traumatic situation. Okay.
But ma'am, don't
They
you
can
think that?
also.
But
Hmm.
ma'am, don't you think that in masses, because if we talk about schools in Delhi, maybe it is quite possible. But if we talk about schools in tier two or tier three cities, it is not certainly possible in order to find such manpower for the school who can understand child psychology or who would be aware about such kind of thing. So in order to
Okay.
do that, whose
Mhm.
responsibility it is to educate them about these such kind of acts or such kind of policies?
Okay. RTE Acts says that you have to take the trained staff as the educators of their school to in order to get recognized, and the trained staff is trained to teach the children. So they are there, one of their subjects is child psychology also. So it does not matter wherever in India you have. I think I know that there are a lot of teacher training institute, and the training they have to clear this training in order to become a teacher. Okay. So even if they do not have such kind of training, so B.Ed is also there. So there are a lot of educational degrees that they can demand in order to hire staff as a teacher or a trainer. Okay. Second thing is that they can take sessions of the children as well as parents in order to spread awareness about certain instances, and they can train them about the action. They can ask the specialist from the NCPCR or any such organizations, where I will give you an example of Child Relief and You is also such organization that helps the children. Okay. So you can ask the specialist from different organization, who are ready to help, and they can take sessions with the parents as well as children, as well as also they can retrain the teachers and the principals and admin staff also, so that everybody is aware about these acts and the action they have to take, and what is the consequences of the certain instances that happen. Second of all, in case if certain instance happen, you just have to call 1098. You have to report the incident, and afterward, what is the procedure that has to be followed? The instructor or the specialist who would come in contact with you will uh, guide you what steps are to be taken moving forward, and how this procedure is going to take place. Even the child will be trained that this is going to happen, and this is the way, like this thing will happen, this is not your fault, and how the environment is going to be. There would be a person who will be asking you questions, and they will train the child in such a manner that he is comfortable in answering the questions which are asked by the person. And even police officers who are dealing with such kind of children and who are assigned these cases, they are also trained in for these kind of situations. I just mentioned not only courts, even the police personnel, teachers, there are certain nurses and even doctors who are trained for certain situations and incidents, uh, in case if these things take place. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, there's a technical glitch.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's a very relevant point, ma'am. So what all
Mhm.
things come
Thank you.
under this NCPCR?
See, Juvenile Justice Act also comes under this act, wherein I hope you must have heard about the juvenile criminals. But there are two sections which we
Okay.
can divide the Juvenile Justice Acts into.
Hmm.
First is the juveniles who are in conflict with the law. That means the children who are under the age of 18 and who have some allegations and they have committed an offense, and
Hmm.
there are certain proceedings going on against them, and they are kept in the reform the reform homes. Okay. And there is a second section of the juveniles which need the special care and attention. These could be the children, as I just mentioned, the who are the victim of the HIV AIDS prosecution, and this communal violence, domestic violence, HIV AIDS, and stress, uh,
War crime, possibly.
war crime, yes, the children of the prisoners,
Hmm.
children of the prostitutes,
Hmm.
the children who do not have families or any guardians to take care of.
Okay.
So they make sure that these not only small children but juvenile, because juvenile is a different section of the children, like they are going through a lot of physical and mental changes, so they need special attention. So for them there is a different act which is called Juvenile Justice Act, so that it is easier for this section, it is easier for the law to deal with this section. And uh, they come into a different kind of situation, they may get into a different kind of trouble than children. So
Mhm.
the special care and attention has also been paid to them by NCPCR.
So, Mrs. Jaya, means we have discussed a very good points in this session. Like you have mentioned about that children helpline number, that is 1098, that is still functioning 24 into 7 actively for the kids. And every
Yes.
school, parent, and any of the person who identifies such kind of issues in their neighborhood, in their surrounding, in anywhere, if they are finding any such kind of issues, they can immediately report such issues in that number. Second, you have
Yes.
mentioned about one animated movie by the name Komal, which you recommend for every parent and every school to recommend
Yes.
to the kids, or they must watch this movie so that they would get
Yes.
education about these kind of acts, or
Yes.
whatever things happen in that. Then you have put light on RTE and POXO as well, that how a school should identify such issues and what kind of protocol they should follow, and regular awareness is necessary on different levels. So this is what I would understand the most important aspect which you have mentioned, that level of awareness should be enhanced, right?
Yes.
Fine, ma'am. So before we leave, because we are running short of time, before we leave, you would like to give some message to our viewers, to the parents, or to the schools who are watching this session.
What I would like to suggest is that since I am the officer of a court, and I understand the law. In our studies, we understand this, that mistake of fact is acceptable, mistake of law is not acceptable. That means as a citizen of India, we should be aware of our rights and duties towards our country. And regarding this rights of the children, since we are the parents of our children, it is our duty to be aware of the rights that are available to our children. Okay, in case if we are not aware of our rights, so this excuse will not be taken by any court of law. So what I suggest is better safe than sorry. To be at a safer side, you have to invest some time, you have to go through what all facilities, what all rights are available to our children as well as us, what kind of provisions has been done by the law to us. Keep yourself up to date with the changes or whatever the new acts have been there for us, and just make sure that you are safe, and I hope the happiness and the welfare of all of you and the children of our society.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Jaya Sheva, for your kind words. And thank you all, the audience. Thank you all the viewers for being with us. And we have actually gained some good insights on this NCPCR Commission and POCSO Act. Hope schools and the authorities will get benefited from this session. And thank you, special thanks to Mrs. Jaya for sharing such views and sharing such knowledge. And we'll be in touch very soon to discuss more about it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sure,
Have a
sure,
great evening.
sure. You too. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.